Hi, Dana.
What's up, buddy?
Some of us haven't had a chance to talk to you since the Couture announcement. Have you had a chance to speak to him to try and go over some of the things that he said to other people, like he was unhappy with his contract and things like that? Have you guys been able to talk it out, or if not, what's your take now on this?
No, I haven't talked to him at all, and you know, Randy announcing his retirement wasn't a surprise to me because I talked to him a few weeks before, and he was feeling like he had nothing else to prove, and unless he fought Fedor, and you know, the things that he said and the approach that he's taken and the way that he's done it, that surprised me. You know, I've known this guy for 8 years, and no, I haven't talked to him. That's the other thing, the way that it was done. It was done very Hollywood, the way this thing was done. He's shooting a movie in South Africa. His agent releases all this information, you know, and the timing, the way everything was done, it's pretty shitty.
You've said in the past that you don't think people want to know what people make money-wise.
Right.
Other leagues have transparency, the NHL, things like that, where people know what each other earns. I know you're a privately held company, but would it not avoid some of these problems if this information was known?
I think this is a bigger picture than what guys make. Couture's up to something. I don't know what the end game is here, but you know, I can tell you this: Randy Couture, you know, called me. He lost twice to Chuck Liddell, got knocked out trying to get the light heavyweight title back. He retired after the last fight with him. Then he called me a year later and said, I want to come out of retirement and I'd like to fight for the heavyweight championship. I gave him that title shot. When he came out of retirement, he said, I'd like to redo my contract, because we still had him under contract when he retired. And he said, I'd like to renew my contract. So he just signed a new contract that he was thrilled with 8 months ago. He just signed a new contract 8 months ago. And 8 months later now, you know, apparently he's not happy with it.
Just two final things, if I may. One,
and the other thing is with that too, he never came and said, can we do another contract? You know, I'm unhappy, can we sign another contract? He wanted to sign a new contract when he came out of retirement. We redid the contract for him, and he was happy with it. He signed it, and then he never came to me again and said, can we sign a new contract because I'm unhappy with the current contract.
And just finally, so your view is then that if he comes back, no matter what the time element, though obviously Father Time is after him, and he belongs to you.
Oh, he definitely belongs to me. He's under contract with me, no doubt about it. He just signed a new contract 8 months ago.
And also, excuse a parochial question, what's the status of Canada in January?
Canada, we had a venue and had everything set up for Canada, and we had to cancel the Canada date. Because the Canada date was supposed to be the HBO fight.
Is there any make-up date, or when do you think you might get back?
We're definitely coming to Canada this year. I promise. I promise.
Dana, how big a loss is losing Randy Couture to your promotion?
You know, at the end of the day, you know, the loss for me is Randy Couture is somebody that I consider my friend. You know, we had a good relationship. At the end of the day, people are going to make decisions. As men and as human beings, we all have these paths available for us to walk down, and you know, Randy is. I don't. To be honest with you, if I could even say Randy's leaving, I don't know what Randy's doing. I haven't talked to him, so you know, he's out there saying these things. You know, the thing that upsets me the most is that when he said Lorenzo and I lied to him. You know, let me tell you what. You know, people. I take my shots. I'm the guy out front. I'm the guy that takes all the bullets. But I'll tell you this: Lorenzo Fertitta and his brother Frankie never lie to anybody. They're good people, and the sport exists right now because of those two. So, you know, the whole thing is mind-boggling to me. This is just not Randy Couture. This isn't, you know, I've dealt with the guy for, you know, 8 years, and I would have never expected this. But, you know, he's upset, and we'll either figure it out or we won't. Does it hurt the company? Yeah, we probably would have done one more big fight with him, but no, I don't think it hurts us long-term at all. And Randy's making decisions right now that he feels he needs to make as a man and as a fighter, and you know, I gotta respect it. What am I gonna do? Again, this isn't like a Tito issue. You know, if this was Tito, I'd sit up here and tell you 50 million bad things about Tito and why we're here with Tito. Tito and Randy Couture are two different people. You know, I respect Randy as a fighter and as a person, and you know, sometimes friends fight. Sometimes friends don't agree and they disagree, and I don't know. We'll see where it all ends up.
And one of the things that this has brought out is salary structure in UFC, and a lot has been made of other MMA groups. How much consideration are you giving to perhaps guaranteeing contracts, health insurance, maybe changing your financial model for the way you currently pay fighters?
I'll tell you right now, there isn't anybody in this industry that takes care of their fighters better than we do. You know, and sometimes it takes leaping to realize that. BJ Penn left, he won the title, he beat Matt Hughes, took off to Japan when everybody thought Japan was so great, and he got over there and realized it wasn't. Then he sued me to try to come back, and BJ really got screwed in that deal. It wasn't good for his career. And actually, it's funny that the day that this stuff happened with Randy Couture, I was in Hawaii, and BJ Penn flew over to meet with me for breakfast the next day and said, I wish I could talk to Randy and tell him what a big mistake this is. But sometimes it takes leaving to realize how good you got it, that the grass isn't greener, you know, anywhere else.
So you're gonna keep the salary structure the way it is, Dana?
Absolutely.
What is the thinking behind it, and why you would rather go with a per fight and bonuses?
It's the way the sports are today. I hate the whole money side of it. Trust me, Randy Couture. Let me tell you something with the Randy Couture. Randy Couture is a multi-millionaire. Don't ever feel sorry for a multi-millionaire. Okay, a lot of these guys are multi-millionaires. They make millions and millions of dollars, and you know. It's just one of the things I don't like to talk about publicly. I love the fight game. I love, you know, doing the fights. Lorenzo and I couldn't wait for the day. Couldn't wait for the day that we could pay guys millions of dollars. And finally we're there. And money's just one of the things I don't like to talk about it. And it seems the more I don't like to talk about it, the more everybody wants to talk about it. Everybody wants to know what everybody's making. These guys are rich. They're making a lot of money. Is that why we watch it? Is that why we watch the fights? And is that why we're so into the UFC? And is that why we watch sports? I mean, that's one of the things that I really hate about sports. You hear about this guy who's pissed off and sits out and won't play, and he's making $30 million a year. Makes me sick, to be honest with you.
Dana, I'm just wondering, have you reached out to Randy or tried to get a hold of him?
I called him twice and left messages for him. He's in South Africa shooting a movie, and
Returning your calls?
no, he hasn't called me back. So, like I said, this is typical Hollywood. You know, this is exactly the way. You know, he's got a Hollywood agent, and this is the way Hollywood agents play this stuff.
Dana, sorry, sadly I have another money question for you.
That's all right.
What are fans supposed to think though when they see somebody like Keith Jardine, who according to the Nevada Commission made $14,000 for beating Chuck Liddell? I mean, fans question that. What do you say to that?
If these guys were unhappy with their deals, they'd all be walking out just like Randy Couture. Let me tell you what, there's a lot of guys out there right now throwing money around. You got Mark Cuban out there throwing money around. These other guys that are with Showtime throwing money around. You know, the IFL's throwing so much money around they're almost gone. You know, there's a lot of guys spending a lot of money and making a lot of offers. A lot of these contracts, you know, I've got these guys for 3, 4, 5, 6 fight deals, and then their contracts come up. Why are they re-signing with me? Why do they keep re-signing with me when all these other guys are out there throwing crazy money around? Because we're paying these guys very well and we take care of them.
But 14,000 doesn't seem.
Wait till you see what Rich Franklin's going to make Saturday. It's probably 28, I think. There's a reason I'm doing this. I'm not an idiot. There's a reason I'm doing it. Maybe I'll tell you in a couple of years.
I was going to say, maybe I'm the idiot. Can you explain it to me today?
Maybe you know, there's a reason. There's a method to this madness. And I don't know. I'm not ready to talk about it yet. Does it matter? I mean, seriously, we're sitting here talking about, don't you think if these guys weren't making any money, they'd be pissed? Randy Couture right now, okay? Randy Couture's situation is, he's saying, I was told I had the second best deal in the UFC. Chuck Liddell being the number 1. But what he's pissed off about is he's hearing that Fedor, Vanderlei Silva, Matt Hughes, and all these other guys are making more money than him. So what's the answer here? Are we not treating guys right, or are we paying guys too much? Some guys think we're paying other guys too much.
Wouldn't the answer just to be letting people know what their colleagues are making? Then they wouldn't have that.
Maybe.